Next. 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 I don't want you to raise your hand. But if I ask you, somebody in this church has one of those. Perhaps all those diseases are in this church as we speak right now. You know what? These are killing people in America. And you are in America and I'm in America. Some are immigrants, some born here, and so on. You know why? You know why people are dying from these diseases? What are they called? What is this word? Lifestyle disease. You know what that means? It means the way you live, the way you eat, the way you drink, the way you sleep, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you pray. All that is causing you to have this. Yes, I did say the way you pray. People who pray have less of these or none of these. So these are lifestyle diseases and they are killing us. But here what is, I'm going to tell you a story right now. Did you know that the Adventist church of which you are a part was organized as a Seventh-day Adventist church in the year 1863? How many of you know that? If you're a Pathfinder, you should know that. Master Guide, you definitely have to know that, or we take away your investiture. Right? The church was organized May the 21st, 1863. Where? Where was it organized? What state? Battle Creek in Michigan. That's 160 years ago. 2 weeks after the church was organized, they went to preach. Now the church was organized. It is now officially called the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Why is it called a Seventh-day Adventist Church? Because Seventh Day, we want to remind the world that we must honor the seventh-day Sabbath. Adventists, because we are looking for the second coming of Jesus. That's our blessed hope. We have been singing about it, preaching about it, and hoping for the soon coming of Jesus. Are you waiting for the soon coming of Jesus? So after the church was organized, they went out to preach. And they went 50 miles away from Battle Creek to a place called Otsego, Michigan. At Otsego, Michigan, Ellen White was there, James White was there, and others. These are the pioneers of the Adventist church. So the next day they were going to preach. But the night before, as they were gathered to welcome the Sabbath, they started to pray. And when they prayed, Ellen White, who was in the company and started the prayer, she fell into a vision. She has had many visions in the past. But in this vision, God showed her clearly from heaven, straight to her mind, in a vision, the comprehensive health message. She said in her own words, it was at Brother Hillard's home that God showed me the health message. Now the question is, what's in that health message? In that health message, God showed her these 8 laws of health. It wasn't organized in that way. Why it's bending down so? Something went. You can see it, right? God showed her these 8 laws of health. It's in an acronym called New Start, N-E-W-S-T-A-R-T, New Start. In an acronym called New Start, God showed her that these 8 laws of health, if Adventists obey and keep these 8 laws of health, they will destroy completely the 8 killer diseases. 8 laws of health to defeat or combat the 8 killer diseases. You know what she called these 8 laws? She called them God's physician, God's doctor. In other words, you have 8 doctors to help you. Dr. Nutrition, Dr. Exercise, Dr. Water, Dr. Sunshine, Dr. Temperance, Dr. Air, Dr. Rest, Dr. Trust in God. These are all lifestyle laws of health. These are lifestyle diseases. These are to help you to defeat these. How are you going to use that? I'll tell you very simply. Very simply, if you were to gauge your life with these 8 laws, you will have tremendous health benefits. For example, when it comes to nutrition, avoid junk food and eat food that comes straight from the plant. The less you cook them, the better it is for your health. When it comes to exercise, you were made to move. God did not make you to sit in a chair in a sofa like a couch potato. Walk. Walking is the best, even in the winter time. You were made to drink water, not anything in a bottle or in a can. They pop and they feel nice. It tastes nice because of the sugar, which is a poison to your body. You were made to drink water. Your body is 75% water. The earth is 75% water. Your cells need water. Give them water, not soda. Now, sunshine. Every day, you're supposed to get sunshine. Let the sun kiss you in the morning or at noon. Get half an hour of sunshine, and you will see those who have high blood pressure, it will go down. If you lack sleep, you're not able to sleep in the night, get sunshine in the day. It will help you in your sleep. You get the vitamin, especially in the winter time. Go out there, put on your coat and get some sunshine. You don't have to expose all your body, just your face and your arms is pretty good, or your face. You could get enough. Temperance. You've got to have self-control in everything you do. I know many of you did not have self-control a couple days ago for Thanksgiving. And that's all right, right? You ate a lot of turkey, you ate a lot of pumpkin pie, apple pie, cornbread, whatever. You ate a lot, macaroni and cheese. Temperance is important. You know why? Because when you don't have temperance, when you overeat, it causes indigestion. Indigestion causes inflammation, and inflammation is the foundation of all these diseases. All right? Next thing, air. You ought to breathe voluntarily. Right now, each of us, we are breathing involuntary. We don't have to make any effort. God just put the system, and we're breathing normally. But you got to go out there, and breathe voluntary. Take 12 deep breaths every morning and evening. When it's raining, it's even better. Don't go get yourself wet, but the air is better when it's raining. Now, rest. How many hours of sleep you supposed to have every night?
8 hours.
That's right, 8 hours is superb. 7 to 8 hours of rest. If you're younger, like these small children, 10 hours of sleep. Need more hours to build the brain cells. And when you go to sleep, you put away the phone, you shouldn't have TV in your room. I don't know who said you should have. Parents, do not put TV in your kids' room or let your kids have gadgets. It destroys their sleep pattern. All right? Can you turn up the volume then? You should not have gadgets when you go to sleep. It destroys the digital invasion is not good for you. All right? Whole research is done. And then trust in God. But you turn it down now. Trust in God. That's part of your healthy lifestyle. You have to have a habit of praying, reading God's word, and witnessing to people. That helps you in your healthy lifestyle. People who learn to pray and who have a connection with God, when they are healthy, when they get sick, they are able to handle it. And I can tell you from my experience, some of the questions we do, we call it spiritual assessment. As we see the patients in the hospital, we ask them what religion or religious belief you have. Just like a doctor will have, where are you feeling the pain? In your knee, which part? And you will tap it, whatever. The chaplain say, what religion or religious belief do you have? Or beliefs, not religious belief. What religion or belief you have? Person may say, I'm an atheist. That's fine. We honor that. Oh, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. Great. The next question is, how active are you in your Adventist faith? Oh, I read my quarterly. I have morning and evening worship. I pray. How is your faith helping you to cope with your illness? Oh, if it wasn't for Jesus, And these are all practical things that I hear all the time. If it wasn't for Jesus, I couldn't handle this. I have cancer, yes, but Jesus is giving me the strength. Without that, you have no hope, and without no hope, you're dead. Hope keeps you alive. Hope is what you need. Remember Barack Obama? He ran a whole election campaign on the audacity of hope. Hope is important. You need hope to cope. And hope is built in Jesus when you trust in God. So God has given us 8 laws of health to help us combat the 8 killer diseases. Now, I could go throughout the year and teach you about these things, but since you give me another, I am only 4:56. Since you give me a short time, I will just take one of these laws of health. Is that okay? I'll start with nutrition and how to fight these. And I'll tell you why I want to start with nutrition. Food is a big, huge problem in this world from creation. How Adam and Eve sinned? What they ate? They ate the food, right? They did not default in their exercise. They did not default in their water drinking. The Bible didn't say Adam and Eve refused to drink from the river of life, or Adam and Eve was under a tree for the entire day and night, no sunshine, or Adam and Eve did not breathe, or Adam and Eve did not take his rest every night. The Bible did say, though, that God put the tree of knowledge of good and evil in the center of the garden, and Adam and Eve ate it. That's why, because food is so important. When Jesus came to earth, after he fasted 40 days and 40 nights, you know what is his first temptation? Satan said, if you are the Son of God, then turn the stone into bread, food again. And what Jesus said, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. What Adam lost through appetite, Jesus won fasting. Come on now. What Adam lost through appetite, Jesus won through fasting. What you have lost in your life so far because of our appetite, God wants to restore that back to you through a relationship with Him. Are you with me? So that's what we're going to talk about, nutrition. So let me get my clicker now. Let's get to the title of the discussion this afternoon, the seminar, is Fighting Disease with Food. If you notice, that title came straight from this book. I was going to a crusade in Brooklyn to present on health at the crusade under the tent. And as I walked into the tent, I noticed 2 student colporteurs selling books. And I saw this book. I said, I was a colporteur myself, a student colporteur too. I flipped through the page. I said, wow, you have what I'm presenting and more. How much for this book? He said, $25. I said, give it to me. I said, I want you to do one more thing. I want you to check how many diseases you could fight with this book and come to the tent with me when I'm presenting before everybody and tell them how many diseases, and I want you to bring enough copies for everybody. He could sell it and make a scholarship, but my thing is people could get healthy doing that. He did it. 70 diseases. So I'm going to choose this afternoon 8 of them from this book. These 8 that we're talking about, the 8 killer ones. And we are going to use just one law of health to fight them. We're going to use food. So that's called fighting disease with food. But I want to bless you this afternoon. I want a family member to stand to represent your family here. Each family will get a book. Each family, free. The cost of this is $25. You gotta stand or raise your hand. All right. Let me see how many. 1 per family. 1 per family. All right. Stand. If you could stand, stand. She has a baby. She can't stand. Keep on standing if you're going to receive the book. Keep on standing. All right. I want to do it personally. So If you stand, you get a book. There you go. You're not sure. You're going to stand. There you go, sis. There you go, sis. Don't read now. Just listen to me. Now, two different families. All right. One family here. All right. You can take over that. Okay. Two different families. All right. Share somebody you in your different families. You can share.
Different houses. They live in different houses.
You're working with ITU. You're blessed. This is close to the pastor. All right. If you have a mic. Okay, last one. If you have a young person sitting next to you sleeping, wake them up. In the Caribbean, we will say hunch them and tell them to wake up. All right, here we go. Fighting disease with food. So we talk about that. Now the first one, and this is in the book. Coronary heart disease. The term coronary heart disease refers to disease which affects the blood vessel and the heart, and is also sometimes known as what? Follow me, everybody. Heart disease. It includes disease such as arteriosclerosis, with plaques build up and narrowing the arteries, increasing the risk of heart attack or stroke resulting from a blood clot. Also included are heart conditions such as heart failure, arrhythmias, and heart valve problem. Children, you don't know a thing about this, but your parents do. Some of them had it already, or your grandparents. Now, this is the definition of this killer disease. It blocks your arteries. It's a problem with the heart. How do we fix this? Look at this. We're going to deal it with food, right? We're going to fight this with food. But let me give you a tip here before. Eating a plant-based diet will help you live longer and reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease. They put some people to a test, and these are cardiologists. These people were scheduled for triple bypass, quadruple bypass. It's from the book Health Power. That's where I get this from. And these people were scheduled for quadruple bypass. And so they said, you know what? Let's put this plant-based thing to work. And they put them on a strict plant-based diet. They cleaned those arteries and they avoided surgery. But this is very serious now. It's not like just eating an apple or two. It's a strict thing when it reached that level. The point there is that if you prevent it, you're better off than having to deal. Charmaine, you made it. Sister Merlin, you made it. These are two of our gospel medical missionaries. They do practically what I'm going to tell you right now. They are our leaders. So a plant-based diet is what you need to fight this disease called coronary heart disease. But let me show you some of the plants that you could use. Let me ask you, first of all, I'll give it away. What plants do you think can help you fight this heart disease? What plant? You cheated. Legumes. Don't read the book yet. Go home and read it. No cheating. It's okay not to know. Spinach, all right. Let's find out. I'll give you 6 of them. I'll move quick. What is this called? Flaxseed. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? These 6 food will help you fight cardiovascular disease. So if you have a family with that, and when you go to shop, make sure you get enough of those. All these are the options. You want to choose from that. So now you're going to shop wisely, you're going to cook wisely, and by the way, the less you cook these plant-based food, the better it is for you. You don't have to cook strawberry. Don't make strawberry pie. Eat the strawberry. Are you with me? Okay? Don't roast and toast and salt the walnut. Eat it raw. Are you with me? So that's how you could fight cardiovascular disease. So this one is done. Which is the next one now? Here we go. Let's go. Cancer. What is cancer? Let's find out. a condition that results from abnormal cell growth and can start in any place and spread through the tissues of the body. Some cancers form tumors or masses of tissues, while others may not. This disease interferes with the normal functioning of the body, and if not controlled, may result in death. There are almost 100 different kinds of cancer. Anybody has a family member who died of cancer? Oh my goodness, I am tired hearing about members dying of cancer. Tired. Usually, by the way, when I do this presentation, if they're medical doctors or nurses, I ask them to join me to add the science to it, and they usually do. We have a nurse here, Sister Featherstone. You were a nurse, right? But if ever I say something wrong, another nurse correct me instantly, because we believe that God works supernaturally, naturally, and medically. We also believe that God to use scripture, science, and spirit of prophecy. That's the foundation that I am operating in, right? So cancer, and one of the cancer that's very dangerous is pancreatic cancer. My daughter is third year in med school and trying to find out what's up with this. The pancreas is very small. And so when it attacks that, it seems like there is no turning back. Before you realize it, 1 week, boom, 2 weeks, less than a few months, the person is gone. That's too late to use plant-based sometimes. But I tell you what, you can do it now. Can you? You can change the way you prepare food in your kitchen. Have in your fridge. And children, listen, because you may have to remind your parents. Your parents may forget. Sometimes they get too busy. So what? Let's have a health tip. Whatever your anxieties and trials, spread out your case before your Lord. Your spirit will be braced for endurance. One of the things that's not mentioned, this is not food, but stress is a big killer. Stress and anxiety. And that in itself, no matter what food you use, you've got to fix that. It might be a relationship problem. It might be your relationship with God. You got to fix that relationship so you could avoid that anxiety and stress. But let's move on to cancer. What foods do you think will help you fight cancer? Apples? Okay. Anybody else? We take 3. Quick. Soursop. All right. Could be, but these are the tested ones from the book. Here we go. What is that? 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 Look at these. My wife has been following Lauren Day for some time, and she was doing carrots and so on. So she has big tumors. I don't know if you know that. Sometimes when it gets too serious, you got to do large doses of these things, juicing it and use it consistently. That is why we will say to you, go to a lifestyle center if you have it. Stage 4, stage 3, whatever. But before you have it, or if you have the tendency in your family, you want to use these food. Turmeric is and garlic, oh, powerful stuff. Yes, nurse? Yeah, we get to that. We'll get to arthritis just now. The arthritis is number 7. You jump ahead, but we're gonna go there. And that's what the next thing is, that some of these things, they are helping you to fight against multiple of these. So turmeric, my wife loves turmeric. I love it too. Garlic, powerful. So for cancer, you have it in the book. If you don't have the book, your family member has it, because every family has one now. You are the only church that has that. I can't do this in large churches. I don't have enough. The book costs $25. So I take advantage. Small churches, yes, I could give 7, 8, 10 books. That's fine. So you are blessed. You're the only church. For the past 3 years that I've been doing presentation, only church where every family has a book to go with it. Let's go. The next one is diabetes. This is a killer. Killer. These are all deadly diseases. What is diabetes? A complex condition that affects how the body uses glucose, resulting in too much glucose in the blood. If diabetes is not well controlled or left untreated, it leads to health complications such as blindness, kidney failure, loss of circulation, that's a spelling error there, in the extremities, resulting in amputation and increased risk of heart attack and stroke. You see how these things are connected? The disease is interconnected, one to the other. The same way the intervention, the remedy is interconnected. So when you use garlic, you could deal with more than one, right? So what food do you think you could use if you're diabetic? Here we go. First of all, let's take a tip. A 10-minute walk after each meal helps move sugar out of the blood stream and into the cells. Take a digestive walk. Take a digestive walk. You don't have to go outdoors. Outdoors is good, but walk around the church. I have started after we finish lunch in churches, and I do the presentation in the afternoon, people walk around the church. And 5 minutes of walking, 7 minutes of walking tremendously help them in the moment. So let's see how we could fight diabetes. What are the foods? Let's go. Here we go. Keep going. Let's go. Call the names. What you see? All right. Here we go. Foods that will help you fight diabetes. There is a question mark on the potatoes sometimes when I present it. So if you have a question mark based on your consultation with your doctor, just avoid that, but you have 5 more that you can work with. All right? Martin, you want to say something about that? Go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, church. So the potatoes, if for diabetic you want to switch it out for sweet potato, the glycemic index is what is in question there.
What is glycemic index, please?
The amount of
Sugar.
in the food that causes a rise in the blood sugar to 100.
And how quickly they could be,
How quickly it reaches the blood
right.
stream. So with potatoes, this is where the technicality comes in.
Yeah.
It has a higher glycemic index than sweet potatoes, these regular potatoes.
All right, so go for sweet potatoes instead of this Irish potatoes. We call it Irish, we should call it. And I plant my sweet potatoes. I plant, yeah, you can plant them. I was so happy for Thanksgiving. The sweet potato I plant was on the Thanksgiving table. Praise the Lord. That's good. All right, let's go. Next killer disease is what? Hypertension. What is hypertension? The condition is commonly known as high blood pressure. You're right. The force with which the blood pushes against the wall of the arteries as it flows through them is known as blood pressure. Abnormal blood pressure would be any reading above 120 to 180. You know, you go to some doctors, you have 130 and 140, and they tell you, okay. 120, work with that. Over 180. Over 80. Over time, abnormal blood pressure causes damage to the blood vessel, leading to complications such as what? Heart attack, heart failure. Help me, somebody. Stroke, kidney disease, eye damage, peripheral artery disease, and aneurysm. This is a killer. It's the silent killer. It's a silent killer. And you will only know if you test it. I believe that every home should have a blood pressure machine. It's cheap, Walmart. Somebody had given me about 10 of them to give away. I think I gave away most of them already. I was going to bring a couple to give away too. Don't give it to the big church. I give it to the small church. Get one and test it. If it's once a week, see what's going on so you could know. Because here what will happen. When you get into the habit of eating unhealthy without any checks and balances, it's like a never ending. But when you test that blood pressure and you see it's high, oh, I got to slow down on my chips. I got to slow down on my chicken. I got to slow down on my soda. It gives you a little push there. So do the test, because you could get into the habit and you keep doing it over and over, the salt content, before you realize it, the silent killer kills you. All right? So what food shall we use for this? All right. A health tip first. Those who take Christ at his word will find peace and quietude. There's a text in the Bible which says, that's for Philippians 4, verse 8. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything with prayer and supplication let your requests be made known unto God, and the peace of God that giveth passeth all understanding will guard your heart and soul. I put this hypertension to a test through prayer. I told the church this morning in Utica, test my blood pressure, it was a certain number. Finish my prayer, test it again, it dropped by 3. No medication, just prayer. So prayer helped to reduce blood pressure. Here we go. Foods. What is that? Here we go. What is that? What's that? What is that? See, garlic comes again? And blueberries? You never go wrong with garlic. But don't fry the garlic. Don't fry it up in the oil. You could blend it up with something. Yeah. It makes everything smell bad, right? But let me have one of our medical missionaries to answer. Sister Gabardine, how do you use garlic? Tell us. She's an executive leader of the Gospel Medical Missionary, trained to answer your question. Tell them how to use garlic. And stay with me close. So, Sister Marty, you should come too, because I need your support. Take the microphone. The question is how to use garlic.
During the COVID era, we had a lot of issues where, you know, people were just having a lot of symptoms, and we made this thing called flu bomb. Anybody ever heard of that? And that's garlic, that's turmeric, that's onion, ginger, lemon, cayenne pepper, a little honey to calm it down. And you make a nice concoction with that. And you can take that. Even now I had some yesterday, it finished yesterday, because even now sometimes you feel like you have something going on in your throat. You need it. So it boosts your immune system, and it keep you from that cold, and it keep you from whatever is going on around you, which is a lot.
Excellent. Listen, let me tell you what I do. I do it hard, a little rougher than that. Here's what I do. Recently, a guy came to the office and he said, Pastor, I have this program. I could test your pressure and whatever, and find how to fix any problem in your body. I have this machine. I said, go ahead. He tested my blood pressure, and his machine showed that my blood pressure was 134. I said, what? Over 120 something? I said, what? That's not my pressure. So the next day, I did it myself, and I sent him the number. Same machine. It was below 120 and below 80, right? Like 74 over like 118 thereabout. That's perfect, right? So I said, you know what? I will operate as though I have blood pressure. So I chop up some garlic, got my food, sis, and I throw it in the food, mixed up with the food. And I eat it with the food. It's not so bad when you eat it with the food. Some people actually chew it, but then the stench in the mouth and all these things. I put it in the food. Yeah, but the thing about it, what I find out also, if it's in your mouth and it's smelling, you chew a little bit of peppermint, it helps. Peppermint helps. Anyway. Some people do that. How, Sister Fedderson? So different ways you could do, but I mixed up with the food, yes. She does it in her smoothie. Smoothie, garlic smoothie. You can also roast veggie. All right.
Another way you could do it is you could blend the garlic with lemon.
Like what she said.
Yes.
No, it's seasoning.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking just make like a drink, lemon and turmeric, and that's the way you could take the garlic. You could take it every morning like that in a glass of water.
And throw a little honey if you want.
Yes, in a glass.
That's good. So different ways. All right, we'll go fast because I have 10 minutes. Yes. Yes. Yes.
For anyone who is hypertensive and using garlic, you want to monitor your blood pressure because it will drop your blood pressure really quickly.
All right, so here we go. So that's hypertension. The next one is osteoporosis. What is osteoporosis? Brittle bones. That's enough. A condition in which bone's mass decrease and bone becomes weak and brittle. This occurs with new bone tissue when new bone tissue is not replaced fast as the old bone tissue is removed, and may be as a result of hormonal changes and mineral deficiency, the risk of fractures is greatly increased, with fractures to the hip, wrist, and spine occurring most frequently. Happen with a lot of older people quite, more frequently. All right? Put your trust in the Lord and be not afraid. Foods that will help you. Here we go. What is that? These things help osteoporosis. I love cantaloupe. You know what I do with the cantaloupe? I juice them, man. Oh. I juice the cantaloupe. I love cantaloupe. Juice them with the skin, wash it out with some white vinegar. It tastes delicious. Even if I buy one for like $6 from Costco, or usually they sell 3 together for like about $9. That's like $3 for one. You juice that thing, man. I got all the calcium that I need for my and I love cabbage too. And almonds too. And chia too. So here we go. We finished with hypertension, osteoporosis. We go into stroke. A nurse told me, every Friday morning I go and I pray with the nurses in the ED. That's about 10 minutes or so. And they usually have little training, and these stroke persons will come and tell them about stroke. And they will give me a chance. Said, you go ahead and pray first. And I asked, what is stroke for a layman? She said to me, stroke is a heart attack in the brain. But she said, recovery is hard. It's hard to recover from a stroke, the process. So a condition affecting arteries leading to and within the brain. Stroke occurs when the blood supplies to the brain is blocked, or when blood vessel in the brain ruptures. Symptoms include sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arms or legs on one side of the body, sudden vision loss, sudden speech difficulties, sudden mobility problem, or sudden headache. Experiencing a stroke may lead to paralysis, vision problem, memory loss, speech, and language. The medical profession have what is called BFAST. Nurse, BFAST? Anybody know BFAST? We have a nurse in the house? You remember BFAST? BFAST is an acronym they use to recognize when somebody has stroke. Dr. McBride posted on WhatsApp about BFAST. If you go there, you'll find about BFAST, Dr. McBride, who is a nurse practitioner, I think. Here, BFAST is this. BFAST is an acronym. B, you watch the person balance. Watch for sudden loss of balance. You know they're getting a stroke if they don't have balance. Look at their eyes. E is eyes. Check for vision loss. F, look for, that's the face. Look for an uneven smile. A is the arm. Check if one arm is weak. S, for speech, listen to slurred speech. T is time. Call 911. So the medical profession, they follow BFAST. Just as we are following New Start, they have BFAST to help you recognize a stroke. BFAST. B means balance. E, eyes. F, face. A, arm. S, speech. T, time. All right? Now, how do you fight this thing called stroke? With food. We're fighting with food. We're only using nutrition, remember? Only nutrition. By the way, let me say this. This does not mean that the only thing you will do is nutrition. You will not be balanced. You've got to exercise. You've got to drink water. You've got to take some sunshine. You've got to be temperate. You got to do all the rest, right? But we are focusing deeply on one. Are you with me? So here, did you know the most effective way to prevent a stroke is to lower blood pressure and reduce dietary fat? You know, the fats in plant is not bad. They don't give you high cholesterol. But the fats in meats, animal product, is dangerous. Right? So that's why we say, stay with plants. You're safer. Here we go. Food, let's go. Hard garlic again. Call the names. If you're from the south, Or if you're from the Caribbean, you know black eyed peas. Black eyed peas with rice, peas and rice. Brother, you're saying something.
Dry beans like black eyed peas, pinto, do they give you sugar?
Sugar. I know they give you fiber. Yeah, fiber, not sugar. Protein. I love figs so much. Listen, see this lady here? One day I was at the office, she said, Pastor, come for some fig. I usually tell your story, but now that you're here, she said, Pastor, come. I said, where is the fig? She said, on my tree. I said, leave it there. I'm coming myself. So I left the office and I came. I was so happy to pick the fig from her tree in Queens. And I ate it from the tree. She sold the house now. Sorry about that. But I went and I planted one fig tree. So I get my own. Fig is good for the stroke. And pumpkin seed and garlic. So when you're shopping at Costco or wherever you shop, try to get these things if you're dealing with stroke. We move. Stress. Yeah, very important. All right, let's move on to arthritis. What is arthritis? What is arthritis? Yeah. Arthritis, inflammation of one of the more joints. While there are many kinds of arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis are the most common. Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease that targets the joint's lining. Osteoarthritis occurs when the cartilage that covers the end of the bone starts to wear away. Symptoms of arthritis include redness, swelling, stiffness, and pain. Oh man, I've seen so many people struggling, but the bottom line there is what? Inflammation. So we're going to fight that. How are we going to fight that? Avoid sugar consumption or added sugar increase inflammation. Did you know that sugar increases inflammation? And do you know how much sugar is in a soda, in a can of soda? We usually demonstrate that. Bring the soda and put the amount of sugar that one has, 5 or 7 spoons. You would not use that, but it's in there, and it tastes very well. That causes inflammation. So we're going to fight it with food now. Here, that's the boss. That's the boss right there. You see that? Pineapple. And I find pineapple is sometimes cheap. At Costco, you could get one for like $3. Right? Ginger. So let's move to the final one now, obesity. One person said to me, Pastor, why did you put obesity at the bottom? You should put it at the top, because that's the problem. That's caused all of this. Well, I printed the banner already. I couldn't change it. And one of these banners costs like $160. So I leave it there. But let's imagine it's up there. Obesity, a condition in which the weight of the individual is usually at least 20% more than what would be considered healthy. More calories are consumed than the body can use, and extra calories are stored as fat. Obesity predisposes one to life-threatening conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, heart attack, cancer, and increase of debility. In other words, all of this is related to that. Listen, don't point fingers of anybody, because when you point fingers, one is pointing back to you. Food is not the only cause of obesity, you know. There are other genetic factors too. Some of them you have no control of. Some of them you do have control. We are talking now about what we could control, right? Right? We could control something. Some things we can. And sometimes you've got to you've got to appreciate who you are without additional stress, right? We don't want people to commit suicide because they don't look like what you expect them to look. Ellen G. White says in her book, Counsels on Diets and Food, don't use your standard to judge, I'm paraphrasing, other people. This is a progressive thing. You grow, you learn, you develop, and fight the battle, and God will be with you. All right, so walking is one of the best exercises and burns up to 120 calories an hour. Try walking. If you never walk, just start with 5 minutes. Move on to 10 minutes. Walk up and down the house, the room. Then try to go outside. Do 1 mile. You should aim to do 5 miles a day, which is like 10,000 steps. You'll be good if you do that. But if you can't, do whatever you could, make it. You know what? Last week Sabbath, after we finished church, I had to install a pastor at the South Ozone. Then I had baptized a young lady many, many years ago. She grew up to be an attorney now, and she got married and she got her home. So she said, Pastor, can you bless my home? So we're going to bless their home, me and my wife. And Pastor Featherstone, we saw this guy. He said he's 58 years old, but the man looked real good, strong and upright. He looked at me, he said, man, you could get some more muscles. I said, how did you see lack of muscles under there? Exactly what I said. My wife can testify. You know what he does? This is what I want to say. I don't care about his muscle. That's his. But what I'm saying is the habits. He said he spent 2 hours every day in exercise. This man is a business owner. He makes money, but he spends time exercise. You've got to know what's important for you. And if exercise is important for you, do it in Jesus' name. Don't let him be your standard, but just let that be an inspiration. Do it. I like to tell people you should earn your food. I got that. Notice the person who made the Bragg's amino acid and all these things. In that book, I read a book with him called about fasting, and he said, you should earn your food. If you don't work or do something physically fit, you shouldn't eat. What are you going to do with the food? Add more to your body? You didn't do anything, so go exercise. And you said, I earned my breakfast. Let's go. So how do we fight this now? That's the last one. Look at these. Call them, call them. So when I put on extra weight, why do you think I'm shopping? I'm the one who mainly do all the shopping. When I put on extra weight, when I go to Costco, what do you think I'm shopping? Garbanzo, brown rice, peaches, grapefruit. I plant my zucchini, and my wife will tell you buy the big bags of cashew. I have it in the car right now. When I put on some extra weight, and I am here. You guys know what I'm talking about. There is a lady who said, I was taking a class when I was doing my medical missionary training. She said, in her family, they will just smell the food and gain weight. And some family will eat a whole cow and don't gain weight. I think I am in the family that smells. So you got to know where you are. And you see her? From her story, she wasn't like this. Tell us in 30 seconds.
I was over 200 pounds. And ever since I, got the health message, but I was the person, I'm a Jamaican. I got up every morning and I make a whole bunch of fried dumplings that last me until about Wednesday. I fry ackee and saltfish. I fry everything, chicken, fish. That's how I grew up, eating all the bad food. I did not know better. That's what my mother taught me. I got married, I come to America, and that's what I did. I fry a lot of dumpling. I was very good at it. You can't make a better dumpling than me. And I still do it now. But I use einkorn. I use my flax seed, and I don't fry it. I kind of pan bake it, so I don't deprive myself of the things that I love. I still make my ackee. You can't make a better ackee than me. I just don't use saltfish. I make a nice ital. I use my coconut milk. A little secret, right? And it tastes really good. Pastor Stevenson always wanted me to go with him when he's planting churches and say, bring that ackee, and he loves dumpling. And I still make the dumpling, but I grind oatmeal. I use the better quality flour like spelt or einkorn. I use the flaxseed and the things that are really good and nourishing for your body, and I combine them with coconut into making the dumpling. So I'm still having my dumpling, but I'm having it with the healthy grains and the ancient grains.
So listen, what she just said there, you need to bring her back, and Merlene too. They can teach you, she can do a cooking class, cooking school for you guys to learn a few menu they could do. They could arrange that for you. Listen, I promised to finish at 5. I was going to, but Sister Gabidan and Sister Martin spoke for the extra 5 minutes, and so that's the extra 5 is their time. And I'm done with all 8, finish. My job is done. Fighting disease with food. You fought it, you want it, I'm done. You want to go home, you're free to go. But if you want to stay, I have a little bonus. Real quick. What? This is the bonus. What? 7 anti-inflammatory food to add to your diet. I wouldn't go through all of these things to you. I'll just share the food real quick. What? Berries? To fight inflammation? Look at that. Inflammation, fighting. Alliums, all these scallions and so on. Look at that. Fight inflammation. Ginger, nuts and seeds, fight inflammation. Cocoa. And then you have some recipe too. Watch, look at this. You could make some this is how you could do it. You can blend it up and make a nice smoothie. Sister, you ask how to use it, you can make a nice smoothie. Look, you could put it like Sister Gabidan did for us. She did the same thing that you see there, and I drove and I ate that thing on my way here. So this is how you could eat it. And it looks good, it tastes good. It doesn't have to be boring. No. And look, you could make a nice smoothie. So you see now 8 laws. This is the 8th law. You could use that to fight against these 8 diseases. Is that clear? Did I make it clear? Would you want to give it a shot? This is the health message. Huh? You have a pantry over there? Can you give them today now? The pantry is open, everybody. Go and get your vegetables. If any one of you need any food like this, our dear sister who runs the pantry, sis, you have turmeric too there? Oh, please. Wegmans is top notch, right? You get them free. Grab some. Avoid the cheese, avoid the eggs, avoid the chicken, avoid the meat, avoid the things in cans, in packs, in bottles. Use what God made, and you're safe doing that. Bonus still going. Bonus is, well, here it is. You know what's the most important thing of all these laws of health, which I want to tell you? Is temperance. And I didn't say that. Ellen White says that actually, this will be the test in the last days. Temperance will be the test. Hear what she said. In the light given me so long ago, I was shown that intemperance would prevail in the world to an alarming extent, and that every one of the people of God must take an elevated stand in regard to reformation in habits and practice. The Lord presented a general plan before me. I was shown that God would give to his commandment-keeping people, that's us Adventists, a reformed diet, and that as they received this, their disease and suffering would be greatly lessened. I was shown that this work would progress. I believe it will happen here at Ellenville. Friendship in your church is called, right? Elmira. I believe it will happen here, right? You will follow that. I believe that, Pastor, you have these slides. You could keep them and share this with your church every week. Take piece by piece and share in health nuggets every week. This could happen here. You'll have a healthier church, and you'll be able to reach out to others. Let's go. Here, some people like to hear Greek philosophers. They don't like to hear Adventists and Ellen G. White. Well, this guy called Xenophon, she said, temperance, which is moderation in all things healthful, total abstinence from all things harmful. No coffee, no cigarette, no smoking, no drinking, but healthy foods. Hear what Ellen White says now. True temperance or self-control teaches us to dispense entirely everything hurtful and to use judiciously that which is helpful. You find that in Patriarchs and Prophet. These are all bonus. One of the strongest temptations that man has to meet is upon the point of appetite. The only safe course is to touch not, taste not, handle not tea, coffee, wines, tobacco, opium, and alcoholic drinks. I'll go really fast. And I had to go to a place called Food Addict Anonymous. They give me a survey to check to see if I'm a food addict. And I kind of score high, reasonably, moderately high. And here's what they say. After I go to their website, they say that abstinence, they're talking like Ellen White now. They talk about, I can't read, these are the things they say. If you have problem with overweight and so on, avoid sugar, flour, and wheat. Anything made of sugar, anything made of flour, anything made of wheat. All right? And then somebody posted this on Facebook this week, and I just took a screenshot of it and I put it in this slide. This guy, Hippocrates, who is the father of medicine, every medical doctor has to take when they start out doing their white coat ceremony, has to take the Hippocratic oath. And this guy is the guy behind that. He said, walking is man's best medicine, woman's too. You want the best medicine? It is not all the names that you have. It is walking. All right? Here we go. I also found out that fasting is powerful. Stay a day in the week without food. 3 days, water fast. Excellent for your health. I think this is the last bonus I have for you. Then we'll stop there. Check this on the issue of fasting. If the indulgence of appetite was so strong upon the race that in order to break its power, the divine Son of God, in behalf of man, was required to fast nearly 6 weeks, what a work is before the Christian in order that they may overcome even as Christ overcame. Brothers and sisters, spend time to fast and pray. You will receive good health and spiritual empowerment to do this work. I want to thank your pastor for having me here. I try to honor your time. Glad to have our medical missionary leaders here with us. I didn't open up for any questions, but is there any question, anything you want to know before we close off this and hand the mic over to your pastor? You have a question? What is the question? How did I learn all of this? I read, and I go to seminars, and I go to workshops. All right? Does that answer your question? Read, read, read. A pastor told me this when I was little. He said, listen to me. I'm talking to, what's your name? Huh? Zariah. Here was the pastor told me, and I'm telling you this now. Read, read, read. He who reads will lead. So instead of going on gadgets, grab a book, a real book, and read that book. Start with the Bible stories. When our kids were growing up, we bought all the Bible stories for them. Read, read, read. He who reads will what? Lead. All right. Any other question? Question? Yes. Kidney disease? Because it is not one of the top killer disease according to the scientific research that I read. Maybe it's number 9. Well, diabetes and hypertension leads to kidney disease. So that's right. And if you deal with those things, you could reduce that, because hypertension, diabetes, they're all linked, and heart, all linked to the kidney. Any other question? Any other question? One of the things that you can do for kidney end-stage renal disease. I worked with with dialysis patients for a good solid year, praying with them and working with them. It's hard to be on the dialysis machine. It's tough. You know what you could do to avoid that? Drugs must avoid. If don't get into drugs, and avoid anything that is not water into your system. Anything that is not water. All these sodas and all these things are not good for you. Your kidney need to be flushed out. And water is one of the best things to flush that kidney out. You know when you need water, you look into the toilet and you will see the urine. When you leave, don't flush. Watch. It's always good, you know. Men, it's easier for men to do. But women, please, before you flush, watch what's happening there. And let that be your guide. Drink your water. Where's my water bottle? I carry my water bottle. This is the baby one. I have a big one in the car. I refill. Drink all the time. Not that I'm perfect, but I try my best because I learned these things. You want to put them into practice. So water helps. Any other question? Yes.
Water. There are so many different kinds of water.
Yes.
I usually use alkaline or distilled, but
Yeah.
so yesterday I recently moved to the area and there's all these pure.
What kind of water?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. On the issue of water, the more you could avoid bottled water, plastic bottled water, it's the best. It's the best. What I do, I have in my home, I bought plastic water that's in plastic bottle like this. Like this. Huh? If it's it must be BPA free. But the thing about it is, what I have in my home probably is cheap. I do the reverse osmosis. And all these water I fill with my reverse osmosis.
where I used to live, I have glass bottles where I can put
Yes, yes,
refill
yes.
with that reverse, but there's nothing around here. I mean, like,
God will provide something. God will provide something. Let's take these two quick.
A quick point on the topic of water. Really looking for alkaline water. That's what the best state for the body to thrive in. So your water should be alkaline. You can purchase an alkaline kit, a test kit at Home Depot or Lowe's, but you want alkaline. And so if you don't have that, add in lemon to your water. Not lime, but lemon. Lemon is more alkaline than lime. Lime is more on the acidic side of things.
Powerful. That's what happens when you're a medical missionary. We have the medical missionary training happening next year, April, for 10 days, level 2. Pastor and your wife, I'm going to sponsor you if you decide to go for free. Come on, Queens. You know Queens. Get that training. That made a difference with me and my wife. Medical missionary training. It's happening in Queens. The cost is about $300 per person. But I am making this public statement today. Both of you, you go for free. Just you got to find your housing and whatever. But the class tuition, the dates, I send you. Did you receive the calendar for the year? We have the Health Ministries calendar published already. The dates are in April the 8th to the 18th, I think. Or no, 11th to the 20th. 8th to the 18th is the prayer and health. Prayer, 10 days of prayer and Daniel's diet. January the 8th to the 18th starting. You must do that. That's very important. You start with prayer. And then following that, in April, we have the 10 days level 2 gospel medical missionary training. You'll have level 1 that you can watch for free. Again, on video, 8 hours of watching. Prepare yourself for level 2. There they will teach you how to make stuff to help you in your common ailments. All right? You had a question, brother?
Yes, you said bottled water is good for you, but when I used to drive a truck, I used to move a lot of water and sodas and stuff. And so if it sit in the sun, get hot, and so the plastic is made from oil. So if the plastic get hot, then the oil that's in it do is have air getting back into the water.
Yeah. I said it's not good, so I agree with you. And I'm glad you explained that. This is real now. He transports these things. And he's saying that the sun beating upon the water bottle, the plastic. Yes. Any other question? All right. God bless you all. So glad. Let me pray with you before you go. Stand with me. I'll pray with you, and then I'll hand the mic over to your pastor until we meet again. All right? Did you like the health message? Yes, sir. This is the health message, you know. Yeah. Any other thing than that is hypocrisy. When I was growing up, I wish they were teaching health messages like this. They used to make it so hard, and I would feel I will never could do this thing, man. But this is what it is. It's fun. And when I told the other church this morning how thankful you would be that next Thanksgiving, because of the lifestyle changes that you will make, you could eradicate one of these things that you have. You could stand and say Thanksgiving next year, I had diabetes, but no more. Because I followed a plant-based diet and the 8 laws of health. Let us pray. Father in heaven, thank you so much for this health message that you have given us. Help us by the grace of God to live it. It's hard. It's really, really hard. And by ourselves, we can't do it. We have been accustomed to these bad habits. Our parents did it. Our grandparents did it. Our friends are doing it. People around us are doing it. The pizza is delicious. The soda is also delicious. But dear God, they're not good for our health. Change our appetite. Give us a desire to eat and the joy of eating what is healthy. And I pray, dear God, that somebody here tonight, because of what they heard tonight, will change their life, improve their health, and live to honor and glorify you. I pray for your pastor, dear God. I pray that you will bless Pastor Ralph Featherstone. Bless him in his health. Bless him as he stands week after week to proclaim your words here. Bless him with administrative abilities as he counsels, as he leads in boards and business meetings and deal with difficulties. Give him the power of discernment to lead this church, and may this church grow, this church and the other church too. Bless his wife and his children. Satisfy all their need. Bless our elders, our deacons. And dear God, I'm really, really blessed that all these folks have stood by today to listen to the health message. Bless them as they go with it. In Jesus' name, amen. Sit right where you are. You may be seated. Everybody, I'm going to take a picture while you're sitting. Sit in your seat. You might be on Facebook. Who knows? All right. Memories.
All right. Did you guys enjoy it? Thank you so much for coming out. The health director for Friendship is not here. She's sick. Okay. Health Ministries leader is not here. Yeah, Sister Martin, she's not here, but Elder Martin is here. That's her husband. But I just wanted to say to you guys, this is important. This stuff is important. Take it seriously. I could not stand here. I stood there for any time you started. What time did you start? About 4:30? 4 something until now. And I'm still standing. I don't feel a pain in my back. I couldn't do that before. About maybe a year, 2 years before, I could not do that. 15 minutes the most and my back would be killing me. And it's recently that I realized that that pain is gone in my back. Lifestyle change. Change the way I eat. And you see the calories, 120 calories burned in 1 hour. That sounds like a lot. You know how much is in one meal? Depending on what you eat, it's hard to stay below 500 calories in a meal. So think about how many hours you gotta work out to get rid of 500 calories. And when you think like that, and you have to burn, you guys might know, I used to be a personal trainer for Bali's in Barbados. You have to burn more calories than you put in order to lose weight. So if you put in 1,000 calories, there was this lady, a doctor in Barbados, that she used to be on the treadmill for like 2 hours straight. She loved chocolate. And when she come off the treadmill, there would be a pool of water around the treadmill. And one day I went to her and I said, "Why do you spend so long on the treadmill?" And she looked at me and she smiled. She said, "I'm trying to get off the chocolate I ate," because she loved chocolate. So think about it that way. If you are going to eat like just to satisfy your appetite, be ready to work hard, because it takes a long time to burn calories. Elder Martin.
Yeah, I used to ride my bike a lot. They all know, I got married and I slowed up, and that's when my health like it started. Like I used to ride all over here, everywhere and walk.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta start moving, like Pastor said, you gotta move. Because if you don't, you're gonna just seize up and you're gonna start putting on weight. I started for the health thing that we have for the coverage, right? We have to get 10,000 points in order to get a certain amount of insurance. Year before last, I was like way behind. Could not get that insurance. This year, within 3 months, I hit 10,000 points. Because I was walking 7,000 steps a day. Just up and down the hospital. Up and down the hospital. And then we were walking out on the park as well. How many feet? You can measure it and let me know. So you guys get it, right? You gotta work out. You gotta change the way you eat. I'm gonna give you a perfect example, and then I'm gonna let you go. 2005, I was gonna start college at York. Went to the doctor to get a physical. It was mandatory. They said I had high cholesterol, diabetes, hypertension. And they gave me a bunch of pills. I went home, put all the pills in a bag and tied the bag. I cut out, I'm telling you what I did. I cut out oil, I cut out eggs. I looked, you know where cholesterol comes from? Animal products, period. So I cut out everything that had cholesterol in it. Cut out the eggs, stop drinking milk, all of that, all the dairy, right? Amo is from Guyana. She don't know how to, well, she's learning, but she didn't know how to cook without frying first. I don't know if anybody could relate to that. Everything got to be fried first before you do anything else with it. So she would cook, and when she finished cooking, I would look at the pot. I said, test is, when we empty the pot, you got to be able to hold it under the hot water, and all the oil must be gone. If it still got oil, it got too much oil. So it took a while for her to get it. Sometimes I had to cook for myself. But what I used to do is I would take the food and put it in the fridge. I let the oil become like hard at the top, and then scrape it off and heat it back and then do the same thing. And I went back to the doctor 1 year after. And the prayers. 1 year after. And the doctor tests everything, and he said to me, the medication is working well. I said, what happened? Why did you say that? He said, all the levels come back to normal. Then he said to me, you know, continue taking the medication. I said, I didn't take any medication. He said, what did you do? And I told him, he said, well, whatever you're doing, it's working, so continue doing it. It's just an example. So I'm just telling you guys, this is serious. And Pastor came all the way 4.5 hours and his lovely wife. And we appreciate you. When he told me that he wanted to do both churches in one day, I said it's impossible. He could tell you. He's like, no, we can do it. I said, no, you can't, because first of all, how are you going to get people to stay in the afternoon? Then I had to figure out which church is willing to stay in the afternoon. And I had to work with Gershel, right? But I'm glad that he was able to come and we were able to do it, because I did this drive before and it's not an easy drive. And then we have some of the medical missionaries. Thank you guys for coming. They were over, Sister Gabanon. They were over in Utica, and they're here today. Again in the afternoon. That's what we call dedication. And Barry, husband of the medical missionary right here, he's right there with her. So I just want to say thank you to all you guys for coming. I'll see you guys next week. God bless you. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Good night.